Sasol South African Rally Championship has already seen 6 rallies all over the country, but it only gave us 2 winners. Current champion Hergen Fecken recorded 3 victories in the first 5 events, but on the previous round, Johnny Gemmell leveled the score by recording his 3rd win of the season.
The Osram Rally, high up in the mountains above the eastern Cape towns of Berkeley East and Lady Grey, is an event where bravery borders on stupidity. The ultimate test for both man and machine. Going into the Osram, Hergen Fecken had a comfortable lead, but a puncture on the infamous Hubert's Pass on the very first stage of the event immediately put the defending champion on the back foot. Fecken recovered well, but could only salvage points for an eventual 7th position. With Fecken way down the leaderboard, Toyota grabbed the opportunity with both hands to stamp their authority on the Osram Rally. Marc Cronier did a perfect job of riding shotgun for his teammate and earned a well-deserved 2nd position. But the Osram was all about Johnny Gemmell. The championship contender was in a class of his own and drove superbly to claim his 3rd victory of the year by a comfortable 38 seconds from his teammate. The perfect result for Gemmell and the perfect result for Toyota. With only 2 rounds to go, Fecken still leads, but only by 3 points from Gemmell. Habig still has a mathematical chance to add another title to his tally in 3rd, while the production car of Wilken occupies 4th.
It's so close now that whoever beats the other one over these last 2 remaining rounds will be crowned the champion. So prepare yourselves for the Gemmell and Fecken showdown.
Fecken may still have a 3-point advantage, but as the difference between a win and 2nd place is 4 points, 3 points may not be enough.
Yeah, look, it's very close now. We've both got 3 wins. We're basically on the same points. You know, 3 points, as you say, it's not much. 4 points between 1st and 2nd, so 3 points is not enough.
Gemmell has shown in the past that he can handle pressure, but what will it take to beat Fecken?
I think we both got some pressure on us, but it's fine, it's all right.
Jan Habig trails the leaders by 19 points, but winning a national rally will earn you 25 points. A mathematical chance, but still a chance.
The season is getting to the end now, so I think we have to try hard and see what we can do with the points. But it's difficult to predict in the start of an event, so one has to go halfway through and see what the positions are and then work it from there.
With Gemmell fighting for championship glory, it will once again be Marc Cronier's task to ride shotgun for his Toyota teammate.
Oh, absolutely, that's all part of the game, but it's going to be tough. I think, looking at the DVD, the route is going to be demanding. I mean, we've had a lot of rain, so it's going to be a tricky decision from where to go. But I think we've got a good package. The guys have worked really hard again, and we've done some good testing, and I think we're going to be right up there.
With Enzo Keen in another Volkswagen, Toyota will be outnumbered, as it means 3 against 2.
Correct. I think that's our aim, and we'll be spectating from the outside and trying to upset their apple cart. Certainly a lot of pressure on Gemmell and Fecken today, and now we're adding a very slippery wet road to the formula.
Toyota does have one more secret weapon. JP Damso has had a nightmare season so far, but the son of legend Serge is a local hero, dominated this event last year, and will surely be a favourite to once again claim the top step of the podium.
It's going to be hard to repeat what we did last year. The guys are going to be going for it this event, and the stages are quite tricky this year. So we'll see what happens tomorrow.
Japie van die Kerk took points away from Fecken during the previous round, and Toyota will once again expect him to try and run interference against the BP Volkswagen trio.
The rally is going to be very much the same as in the Osram, and if you're going to get a flat tyre, you're going to be out, like Hergen has, and we managed to keep him behind us. And that obviously helps the team, and hopefully Toyota will win the Drivers' Championship this year. So yes, if we can help in the process, we're going to do that.
Popular Cape Town-based Spaniard Fernando Rueda is nearing the end of what has proved to be an eventful first year in the top S2000 class.
Yeah, I must say, besides being eventful, it's been quite a difficult year. I found it very difficult. The car is a lot harder to drive than I thought. We had obviously a few issues, as I'm sure you're aware, with gearboxes and misses and things, but nevertheless the car is they're very difficult to drive. I find it very difficult. It's taking me a bit longer, and you come out of the stage and the stopwatch doesn't show it. So either someone is pressing the button at the wrong time, or I'm not going fast enough.
Polokwane businessman Theuns Hubert is also in his first season in the top S2000 class and currently holds 7th position on the overall points log.
We would have liked to do better, obviously, but our chances were in B. But we're happy. We had a good season.
With a perfect tally of 6 wins from 6 starts, Charles Wilken has already clinched the championship for production cars, but he also finds himself 4th on the overall points log and chasing the factory S2000 teams. Sadly, Wilken will not be competing in the BP Ultimate Rally, as tragic news the day before the event shook the entire rally fraternity. Wilken's team was involved in a road accident on their way down from Gauteng to Cape Town. An accident that claimed the lives of team members Alan Porter and Mike Venter. Their dedication and expertise were pivotal in the team's successes, and their passing leaves a huge void in motorsport. Production car regular Chad Coetzee and former rally winner Etienne Lawrence will be determined to record their first win in the production car category. Their Subaru also sported new livery in the form of Midas, who joins rallying for the first time. But favourites to win this category will be Cape Town locals Mike Nathan and Derek Jacobs in their Birchmore's Mitsubishi Lancer. Cape Townians John Pizer and Brian Hoskins complete the Class N4 rally field.
Fecken and Gemmel now tackle the penultimate battleground in this year's championship. And what a battleground it is. The farmlands in the Swartland and the BP Ultimate Rally.
The BP Ultimate Rally in the Swartland of the Western Cape is arguably the most scenic event on the entire Sasol South African Rally Championship calendar. The green and yellow wheat and canola fields together with the mountains provide a perfect backdrop for an epic battle around the Western Cape towns of Malmesbury and Maritzburg. To add to the challenge, the roads are not only fast but also wet in places.
But before the teams can head out to the Swartland to do battle here, they will first have to face each other on a short gravel stage, as well as the tarmac of the Killarney Racing Circuit in Cape Town.
The 2009 BP Ultimate Rally consists of 9 special stages covering a distance of 366 kilometers, of which 151 will be against the stopwatch. Although 2 short stages will be contested near Potsdam on the N7 and another 3 at the Killarney Racing Circuit, the real rally will be decided on 4 long stages in the Swartland. Once again, South Africa's 6 fastest drivers will have to gamble, as the starting order for day 1 is decided by a number draw. In an effort to confuse Lady Luck, most drivers prefer that their navigators take the gamble. But this did not pay off for Jan Habig, as Douglas Judd drew number 1. BP teammates Fecken and Aries got number 2, followed by Japie van Niekerk, Mark Cronje, Johnny Gemmel and Enzo Kuhn. Before the teams headed out to tackle stage 1, the rally fraternity observed a minute of silence at the Birchmore start to mourn the loss of 2 of its members. Stage 1, just off the N7 at Potsdam, provides the perfect opportunity for the teams to ease into the action. At only 5.6 kilometers, expect the times to be fairly close, as it is extremely difficult to catch the opposition off guard and to open up a sizable gap in such a short stage.
This is it, the start of the BP Ultimate Rally, and who better to get the action underway than 6 times national champion Jan Habig and 7 times national navigators champion Douglas Judd, fittingly in a BP Ultimate Volkswagen Polo. Habig showed zero respect for the fact that he had to open the road and set the first time of 3 minutes and 26 seconds.
The stage is a typical spectator stage, very vague and grassy, very difficult to find the route to the first car on the road.
Hargen Fecken and Pierre Aries won the championship at this event in 2008 and set off in their quest to move closer to a 2nd consecutive title. The BP Ultimate Polo looked fast, but a time of 3 minutes and 29 seconds meant that Habig already had a 3-second lead.
We made a bit of a mistake at the end of the task, so we turned a bit late. Lost a bit of time, so obviously trying to make it up here through the rest.
The new Africa Developments Toyota Runex of Japie van Niekerk and Robin Houghton managed to take points away from Fecken on the previous event. Van Niekerk is still improving on every event and completed stage 1 just 1 second slower than Fecken. With 2 Volkswagens already through stage 1, it was time for Castrol Toyota to launch their attack. Mark Cronje and Robert Paisley have a huge role to play in the outcome of this year's title fight, and started well as the Castrol Toyota Auris took the early rally lead with a time of 3 minutes and 24.1 seconds, 2 seconds faster than hubby.
16 coming up, 17, right 3 opens, right 2, into caution, left 2, right 7.
The championship fight within the rally battle is between Castrol Toyota's Johnny Gemmel and Peter Marsh and Hergen Fecken. Gemmel powered the Castrol Toyota Auris through stage 1 in a time of 3 minutes and 26 seconds, beating Fecken by 3, so the early advantage belonged to Gemmel.
Max left and short Max right over bridge, 30. Then easy left, water, 50. Easy right plus, opens to Max.
But BP Ultimate Volkswagen have one more trump card to play. Enzo Keane and Guy Hodgson have recorded a number of podium finishes recently, and a time of 3 minutes and 24.2 seconds suggested that they were on course once again. It was slower than Cronje's stage-winning time, but only by a tenth of a second.
First stage, getting into things. We'll see, we're going to have a race with Mark Cronje.
Jean-Pierre Damser and Andre Vermeulen were favourites to do well here, but the Team Total Evolution Toyota Runx got off to a shaky start with a close call early on in stage 1, followed by more bad luck as the engine developed a misfire that robbed them of precious seconds.
Well, we had a bit of a moment in that stage now, and it looks like we got a bit of a misfire as well.
At the back of the S2000 field, everyone was once again expecting a great fight between the Team Total Evolution Runx of Fernando Rueda and Kobus Frey and the Salom Group Polo of Thien Joubert and Henny Boertes. Both teams are improving with every outing, and both teams had every intention to beat the other one. Stage 1 went to Joubert, but only by a single second. Mike Nathan and Derek Jacobs in their Birchmore's Mitsubishi Lancer Evo 9 did not disappoint their many fans by taking the early production car category lead. Chad Coetzee and Etienne Lourens were pushing hard in the Midas Subaru, but completed stage 1 8 seconds off the pace, with locals John Pizer and Brian Hoskins a further 7 seconds back in their speed cycling component Subaru.
It's early days and stage 1 was only 5 kilometers long, but enough to set the tone for the battle that was to come. Mark Cronje has the early advantage, but only by a tenth of a second from Enzo Keane. Hubby holds third, and Gemmel has a slight advantage over arch rival Fecken, while JP Damso has catching up to do. After the break, the BP Ultimate Rally moves to the tarmac of the Killarney Racing Circuit for more action, as the fierce battle between Toyota and Volkswagen's finest continues. Battle between Toyota and Volkswagen's finest, the Ultimate Rally, a short day that consists of only 3 stages. Mark Cronje has the lead after the first gravel stage, but the show now moves to the Killarney Racing Circuit for 2 successive tests, combining the track and other areas of the racing complex.
As there are no loose stones or gravel to sweep away, road position had no impact on the running of stages 2 and 3. For Jan Habig and Douglas Judd, this means maximum attack as always. The BP Ultimate Polo completed stage 2 in a time of 4 minutes and 53 seconds. An hour later, during the second running of the exact same stage, Habig went even faster and managed to improve his time by a full 5 seconds. After stage 1, Hergen Fecken and Pierre Aries found themselves in 5th position overall, but more importantly, behind rival Gemmel. The champion wasn't about to give up and fought back by setting a blistering time of just 4 minutes and 50 seconds on stage 2. On stage 3, the BP Ultimate Polo went even faster as Fecken shaved another 3 seconds of his previous time. Jaapie van Niekerk and Robin Houghton are still relatively new to the top S2000 class. Van Niekerk also has little racetrack experience, so the New Africa Developments Runx lost a few seconds over these 2 stages, but still managed to hold on to their 6th position overall. If ever there was a favourite to win a rally stage on a racetrack, it must be Mark Cronje. The Castrol Toyota driver is not only a former multiple circuit racing champion, but also a former world go-karting champion with loads of experience of the Killarney racetrack. Cronje and Robert Paisley did not disappoint as he set the fastest times on both stages 2 and 3 to increase his overall rally lead.
Turn right 1, left 6 into pit lanes, narrow. Yeah, no, straight there, left 6. Chicane, right left.
Fecken's times on these 2 stages were quick, so the ball was now firmly in the hands of Johnny Gemmell and Peter Marsh to fend off this attack. But Gemmell was unhappy about something inside the Castrol Toyota Auris, as he could only record a time of 4 minutes and 57 seconds on stage 2. It was 7 seconds slower than Fecken, and on stage 3, he lost another 7 seconds to his title rival. Current second-placed Enzo Keane and Guy Hodgson were determined to build on their good start to the event. Keane drove hard, but was forced to concede around 7 seconds to the Flying Cronje over these 2 stages. He can't be accused of being inconsistent though. The BP Ultimate Polo's times over stages 2 and 3 differed by only 1/10 of a second.
100, turn right, is head left. Very tight, is now go left. Now straight, 150, turn left 9. 100, turn left 9, is right. Now cut to the arrow, go cut right now, cut. Now go straight.
After losing around 25 seconds on the short first stage, hometown hero JP Damso and Andre Vermeulen had everything to do inside the cockpit of the Total Evolution Toyota Runix. The misfire was gone, but Damso lost another 25 seconds over these 2 stages and slipped down to 8th position overall. Fernando Rueda and Cobus Frey started these 2 stages just 1 second behind Tien Hubert, but the Spaniard in his Total Evolution Runix got the better of his rival on the Killarney tarmac and moved up into 7th position overall. The Birchmore's Mitsubishi Lancer Evo 9 of Mike Nathan and Derek Jacobs continued their production car leading form, ahead of the speed cycling component Subaru of John Pizer and Brian Hoskin. The Midas Subaru of Chad Coetzee and Ike Lawrence was 3rd, just 5 seconds behind the older car of Pizer.
It's the end of a short day 1 of the BP Ultimate Rally. Total special stage distance for the day was a mere 20 kilometers, but 3 consecutive stage wins see Castrol Toyota's Mark Cronje with a 7-second advantage over the rest of the field. But the BP Ultimate Polos are in hot pursuit with only a half second separating Enzo Keane in 2nd, and teammates Jan Hammich and Hergen Fecken tied in 3rd. Gemmell is down in 5th.
While the championship battle between Fecken and Gemmell in their S2000 machine continues, more championship battles are raging in the remaining classes. Besides having only 2-wheel drive instead of drive to all 4 wheels, Class A7 is not much different from the top S2000 class, and it's the final stepping stone before reaching the pinnacle of South African rallying. It's also a fantastic battleground for up-and-coming drivers like Stefan Wilken and Greg Gericke and Evan Hutchison and Alvin Coetzee. Class A7 also plays host to rally veterans and multiple lower class champions Chris de Wit and Dean Redlinghuys, who won the last outing in the Eastern Cape. This top 2-wheel drive arena has also seen a dramatic turnaround in fortunes with a new championship log leader, as the early season pace setters Stefan Wilken and Greg Gericke in their Panhard Seed Striken Express Volkswagen Polo have now seen their once dominant position eroded after a crash during the shakedown stage the day before the Sasol Rally and a fire that caused them to retire from the Osram.
Yeah, no, the season started well, but unfortunately the last event was a bit of a bad luck. It did put a bit of a hiccup into our championship. So it's everything to play for. We're going more for a finish than a win.
With a maiden class win during round 5 and another 2nd place on round 6, Evan Hutchison and Alvin Coetzee powered their Motorrad Toyota Runix into the Class A7 lead. Hutchison has his sights set on adding a rally title to his list of off-road championships, but the dice with Wilken over these last 2 events will be fierce.
And I'm hoping for a good result here. We must finish, we must take some points home, and then the final shootout will be in Johannesburg.
Stefan Wilken and Greg Gericke drew first blood with a Class A7 stage win on stage 1, in spite of arriving at the end with a broken shock absorber. The Total Evolution Runix of Chris de Wit and Dean Redlinghuys opened their account with the 2nd fastest time, 4 seconds slower. The Motorrad Runix of Evan Hutchison and Alvin Coetzee set a time just 1/10 of a second slower than that of De Wit. But the off-road racing champion displayed excellent pace on the tar by winning both stages convincingly, moving in past both De Wit and Wilken to take a 16-second class lead. Wilken ends the day second in class, with De Wit only 6 seconds back in third. Class A6 is home to modified rally cars with engines smaller than 2 litres. It is also home to a trio of Total Toyotas and the championship fight between Mohamed Musa and Grant Martin in the Auris and Rodney Versage and Callan Swan in a Runix, with current class champion Craig Trott and Robbie Coetzee lurking in third. Musa currently has the upper hand, but cannot afford a mistake over any of the 2 remaining rounds.
No, absolutely not. I'm fighting against 2 of the most seasoned competitors in rallying. Both of them have got multiple class wins against their names, and they're very clever tactical drivers, so I have to be up there to be able to beat them.
Versage is a rally veteran with numerous lower class championships behind his name, but will have to use all of his experience in an attempt to try and beat the faster Auris.
With it being a bit wet, so I'm hoping that also gives me a bit of advantage that his power and that he won't pull away from us will be close enough to give him a run for his money.
Both will have to fend off the challenges by the rest of the Class A6 field in the shape of Trott and Coetzee, Cape Town locals Etienne de Tooy and Patrick Vermaak, and Andy Haig Smith and Craig Gray. Mohamed Musa and Grant Martin are chasing their first class championship and started well by winning the opening stage by 11 seconds from locals Etienne de Tooy and Patrick Vermaak. Rodney Versage and Callan Swan's title hopes disappeared shortly after stage 1, when the Total Evolution Runix was forced to retire with gearbox problems. With Versage now removed from the equation, Musa could concentrate on trying to win the rally. But former circuit racing star Etienne de Tooy made a comeback to rallying and dominated both tar stages at Killarney to take the Class A6 rally lead by a mere 4 seconds from Musa. The Total Evolution Toyota of Craig Trott and Robbie Coetzee occupied third in class, around 24 seconds off the pace. The daughter and father combination of Stefanie and Willem Higu had a decent start until their Wheel Magazine Toyota Corolla clipped the pavement at Killarney, spelling the end of the road for the disappointed lady driver. Class A5 is the smallest engined class in South African rallying, but with a host of promising young drivers, the action is wild. Morne Jansen van Rensburg and Gerald Harting and Ashley Haig Smith and Hilton Orphy present a battle of the teens, with Van Rensburg fresh out of school and Haig Smith still in school and armed with a learner's license. Vusi Mabanga and Sean Visser are having their best season ever and currently holds third in the class title chase with a win and 3 more podium finishes to their credit. But the Class A5 battle is a tough one between BP Ultimate City Golf teammates Guga Zulu and Carl Peskin and Andre Kleinwerk and Des de Fortier. Both are former class champions and both are reluctant to give an inch. Zulu started the season with a bang with 3 wins in 4 events, but has since lost momentum to Kleinwerk, who racked up 2 wins in the last 2 events, closing the gap to Zulu to just 3 points. Local youngster Ashley Haig Smith and Hilton Orphy's event ended before it even got going, as the engine in the Team React Toyota Yaris cried enough on the way to stage 1. Vusi Mabanga and Sean Visser were once again contesting a podium position in their Total Evolution Toyota Yaris. But as with most events, the BP Ultimate Rally Class A5 battle was again a fight between teammates Zulu and Kleinwerk. Guga Zulu and Carl Peskin won the opening stage by less than a second, but managed to edge further away from Kleinwerk on the tarmac at Killarney. Andre Kleinwerk and Des de Fortier fought bravely, but could not match the established racing driver's speed and ended the day just 8 seconds behind their teammates. Class N3 is the second of the production car classes and home to near-standard Toyota Runix RSIs. It's also home to the class-dominating Sasol Toyota Runix of Dave Compton and Pierre Jordan, who are on track to seal the class championship on this event. Compton had very little opposition so far in this class and finished the day amongst the Class A6 cars. His only competition, the Runix of Abdul Rahman Amle and Yusuf Hanif, retired on stage 2 with a broken engine.
The sun is setting over Cape Town, leaving the 25 remaining teams with time to reflect on their performances from day 1. 3 stages have been completed, but the real rally only starts tomorrow as 150 kilometers of gravel road action, final day of the penultimate round of the 2009 Sasol South African Rally Championship. The battle between Toyota and Volkswagen, and more specifically between Johnny Gemmel and Ergen Fecken, rages on. Today is make or break, as the teams will head out to Malmesbury and Maritzburg to tackle 4 long and challenging stages in the farmlands. Gemmell and Fecken may be the ones fighting for championship glory, but it's Marc Renier who's chasing his first victory of the season. And with 3 stage wins from the 3 stages on the day before, he holds all the aces.
Yeah, absolutely, but it's a premature sort of start. We've got a long day today.
Keane is just 7.3 seconds behind and leads the chasing pack.
The real rally starts today. We're not quite sure whether it's wet, slippery, or whether it's dried out. So I think all of us just can't wait to get into the first stage.
Habich is only half a second behind one of his teammates and tied with the other.
Being third on the road, I think, is probably not a bad position. At least you've got some markings that's going on at the front.
Competition within the BP Volkswagen team is just as fierce, with nothing to separate Hergen Fecken from Habich. But he is ahead of title rival Gemmell.
Yeah, look, we're fairly happy. We got a good road position for today. I think we can work with it.
Gemmell finds himself in an uncharacteristic 5th position and 19 seconds off the lead.
No, we struggled a bit with the power steering, especially on the tar stage with those tight corners and what have you. So we dropped 19 to the leader, so it wasn't a good start.
The top drivers on any round of the Sasol South African Rally Championship get to choose their starting and road positions for day 2. The thinking is that further back will be safer and faster, leaving 6th place Japie van Niekerk no choice but to open Saturday's proceedings. Stage 4 is a 26-kilometer affair just north of Malmesbury. The roads are fast and mostly smooth, but as there's still a fair amount of standing water present, the organizers allowed the teams to make use of special wet weather tires. They provide more grip than normal dry weather tires, but they also present a risk as they are susceptible to punctures.
It's only stage 4, but the time to make a move was now. Japie van Niekerk and Robin Houghton are getting closer and closer to the factory S2000 teams with every event, as he's quickly finding the limits of the new Africa Developments Toyota Runx. Van Niekerk survived the scary moment, but soon also had gearbox troubles to worry about.
Good, it's not bad. It will be better if we had second gear.
6 rallies so far this year have only yielded 2 winners. Johnny Gemmell is one of them, with 3 victories to his name, but together with Peter Marsh, they currently found themselves 19 seconds off the pace and in 5th. On the opening stage of day 2, Gemmell made his move as the Castrol Toyota Haulers crossed the flying finish in a remarkable time of 13 minutes and 46 seconds.
Fast left long and max grid 300. 300, max small crest, then 100 in max right, 70 tighter.
As always, Jan Habich and Douglas Judd open up the taps in their BP Ultimate Polo and entertain the crowds with his extremely spectacular driving style. Habich was also in a close battle with his teammates. His time was 9 seconds slower than Gemmell's, but would it be fast enough to beat Fecken? Besides the battle with their teammates, Hergen Fecken and Pierre Aries knew that Gemmell would come out with all guns blazing. The only way to fend off such an attack is to also go on the attack. The BP Ultimate Polo was flying until...
It was a very fast right-hander into a very quick left 6 over a small grid. We just came in way too fast.
Enzo Keane and Guy Hodgson started stage 4 in 2nd position, but with a slender half-second advantage over teammates Habich and Fecken. Fecken already lost more than a minute, but Habich already posted a fast time that didn't leave Keane with any margin for error. His time, 5 seconds slower than Habich. Keane drops from 2nd to 4th.
Fork right 1 over flat crest. Fork right 1 now over flat crest. And the left 1, flat crest. Left 1, right 1, continues to a 3.
With 5 drivers in front of them having all posted times, rally leaders Marc Renier and Robert Paisley knew exactly what they had to do to stay in the lead. And that's what the Castrol Toyota Haulers driver did. 13 minutes and 55 seconds, the same time as Habich, so Cronier's lead remained at more than 7 seconds.
Turn right 6. Turn right 6. Into bump. Right 6 opens up a bump into left 5.
The Total Evolution Toyota Runx of Fernando Rueda and Cobus Frey was the next car on the road. The Spaniard was driving with new vigor and enthusiasm, but a misfire 4 kilometers into the first stage of the day quickly changed all that.
You know, we've been struggling with these misses all year, and then we had to drive the rest of the stage with 3 cylinders. So it is very difficult to try and, you know, get focused and you get all hyped up and ready.
The second Total Evolution Toyota Runix has also had an unfair share of luck this season. After having lost nearly half a minute on day one, JP Damso and Andre Vermeulen were on a charge to make up for lost time, and did so by setting the second fastest time of all on stage 4. The battle between Evan Hutchison and Alvin Coetzee and Stefan Wilken and Greg Gericke was now not only for Class A7 honours, as both these teams were now also fighting for a top 10 position overall. The Motorrad Runix of Hutchison started the day 9th, but a quick time from the Panhard Seed Strighton Express Polo on stage 4 moved Wilken past his rival by 1 single second and into the top 10.
Gemmel's stage-winning time put him right back into contention, while teammate Mark Ronier maintained his 7-second advantage at the top. Habig is now on the prowl, but championship contender Fecken plummets down the leaderboard and finds himself 1 minute and 19 seconds from the lead. This stage of the event, and as far as the championship fight between Fecken and Gemmel is concerned, it's advantage Gemmel, following his stage-winning time.
It was all right. There were some rocky patches we got through without a flat, and the time was pretty good there, so we clawed back, I think, to third.
Fecken's roll was minor and the damage to the BP Ultimate Polo almost insignificant, but the champion lost 1 minute and 20 seconds, putting him on the back foot not only for this event, but also for the championship.
We're going to have to push really hard and see if we can make up a lot of places. That's the only plan there is.
BP Ultimate Rally action continues in the Swartland of the Western Cape with a long stage 5 at Longvlei, immediately followed by stage 6, an exact repeat of the same 38 kilometers. As the drivers will be familiar with the road this second time around, expect the times to tumble. These two stages also account for more than half of the overall rally distance, so the outcome could well be decided over the next 2 stages.
The Birchmore's Mitsubishi Lancer Evo 9 of Mike Nathan and Derek Jacobs was not only leading the production car category, but also occupied a spot in the top 10. But Nathan hit trouble in stage 5, losing around 5 minutes and dropping them out of the top 10 as a result. Evan Hutchison and Alvin Coetzee in the Motorrad Toyota Runix were still in a tussle with their Class A7 championship rivals and inside the top 10. But Stefan Wilken and Greg Gericke put in a great drive on stage 5 to edge further ahead. The Panhard Seed Strighton Express Polo opened up a 22-second Class A7 lead after stage 6. Thien Subert and Henny Boertes were soldiering on as always and completed these 2 stages at 8th overall, but the Salom Group Polo was now well behind the 7th placed Total Evolution Runix of Fernando Rueda and Cobus Frey. The misfire under the bonnet of Rueda's steed seemed to be a thing of the past, allowing the Spaniard to get back up to racing speed.
Kite, slide left, and caution, slippy, right 4. Which way, right, straight? Yeah, straight, slide left, and then right 4. Right 4, slippy.
The New Africa Developments Runix of Jaapie van Niekerk and Robin Houghton was supposed to be the first car on the road, but when he wasn't the first car to peer through the farmyards, it was clear that they had a problem. The gearbox finally cried enough, forcing van Niekerk to call it a day.
Now I sit with a gear lever in my hand.
Bergen Fecken and Pierre Arries had it all to do now. The current champions nearly saw their title hopes slip away when the BP Ultimate Polo landed on its side on the stage before. And in a championship fight so close, every point counts. Fecken started stages 5 and 6 in 6th position, but a full 31 seconds behind JP Damso's 5th place. In turn, Damso and Andre Vermeulen were also on the comeback trail after having lost lots of time on day 1. The Total Evolution Runix started the day in 8th and already moved up into 5th, but on stages 5 and 6, there was nothing Damso could do about the charging Polo behind him. Fecken closed the gap by 10 seconds on stage 5 and took another 7 seconds from Damso on stage 6 to close to within just 13 seconds. Enzo Keen and Guy Hodgson had a slow start to the season, but the Cape Townian is looking much happier recently, and it's clear that he found the form that was missing for a few events. The BP Ultimate Polo started stage 5 just 2 seconds behind Gemmel's 3rd position. When Johnny Gemmell and Peter Marsh are flying, few people can stay with them, especially on these type of dirt stages. The Castrol Toyota Auris was fast on stage 5 and managed to edge away from Keane by another 2 seconds. But on stage 6, Keane turned the tables on everyone and stormed through the 38-kilometer stage in a winning time of 20 minutes and 12 seconds, beating Gemmell by 8 seconds and rocketing him up the leaderboard from 4th position straight into 2nd. Jan Habig and Douglas Judd had a less than perfect run on stage 5, as the BP Ultimate Polo only managed to set the 6th fastest time. The multiple champion fought back in stage 6 and improved his time from the stage before by a full 23 seconds. But the overall time lost saw him slip from 2nd to 4th on the overall standings. From 6th on the road, rally leaders Mark Cronje and Robert Paisley were in the perfect position from where to carefully plan their attack. The Roodepoort-based driver has had a number of accidents in the top S2000 class, but he's rapidly getting rid of this reputation with a string of consistent performances over the past few events. The Castrol Toyota Auris continued its stage winning streak with another fastest time over stage 5, while a 3rd fastest time on stage 6 extended the overall rally lead to a full 23 seconds.
Bad right to your left, into left 6. Caution, turn right 8, small dip, do not miss. Do not miss, turn right 8.
Confirmation of Cronje's increasing lead at the top of the leaderboard, while Keane's 2nd position makes him the Volkswagen meat in the Toyota sandwich. Feken is on a charge and now has 5th place JP Damso in his sights. After the break, BP Ultimate Rally action continues with Cronje's quest to become the only driver besides Feken and Gemmell to win a rally in 2009. Will Keane be able to keep Gemmell at bay? And how many points will Feken salvage after his earlier drop? The 2009 BP Ultimate Rally. In the head-to-head championship fight between Johnny Gemmell and Hergen Feken, it's advantage Gemmell as Feken made an uncharacteristic error that saw the Polo land on its side and losing loads of time. Fortunately for Volkswagen, Keane is doing a fantastic job of keeping Gemmell behind him and currently occupies 2nd.
Push. They can outpace us, but let's hope he makes another mistake and then we can stay in front.
At the front, Mark Cronje and his Castrol Toyota is doing an even better job of leading the rally. But is 23 seconds enough with 3 stages to go?
I think these guys are really quick in these stages, so for me it's going to be a nice clean stage. Give a little bit away, it's fine. And then go to the last 2 stages with a clean car.
Stage 7, or Longevens, is the last long gravel stage in the Malmesbury area before the teams will return to Cape Town for the final 2 tests. Stage 7 is also a repeat from Stage 4 run earlier in the day. And although the drivers will be familiar with the route, Stage 7 is run in the opposite direction, turning it into a whole new challenge.
It was time for the top South African rally drivers to jockey for their final positions. Thien Subban and Henny Boertes were currently in a well-deserved 8th position overall, but the Salom Group Polo driver could not do anything about 7th, as the gap on stage 7 grew by another 7 seconds. That 7th position belonged to Fernando Rueda and Kobus Frey and their Total Evolution Runix. Rueda must be the most honest rally driver in history, admitting that he's finding it difficult to up his pace, and that sort of honesty will soon be rewarded with even better results.
Rocky, turn right 9 over gate. Through there. To the gate, yeah? Up to the gate. 150 down, left water, keep right.
It was becoming very clear that the Total Evolution Runix of JP Damso and Andre Vermeulen would not be repeating its winning performance from last year. To make matters even worse, the left rear suspension bolts came loose, forcing Damso to drive with a loose rear wheel for nearly 20 kilometers. Damso's troubles made life easier for Hergen Feken and Pierre Aries, who started stage 7 14 seconds behind the Toyota. Damso lost more than 2 minutes, and the BP Ultimate Polo gained another position to move into 5th, but more importantly, 1 position closer to Gemmell. In Inside the BP Ultimate Polo of Jan Habig and Douglas Judd, Habig must have been cursing the electrical problem from early in the day as it took him out of contention and dropped him down to 4th position overall. With Fecken down in 5th, Johnny Gemmell and Peter Marsh were on course to reduce the championship points gap to 0. A 2nd position here in the Swartland would even give the Castrol Toyota Auris driver a slender championship lead. But after stage 7, 2nd position was now 12 seconds away.
Right plus. 250. Max right long, 500 up.
Enzo Keane and Guy Hodgson were doing exactly what the BP Ultimate Volkswagen team required them to do. Not only did they win stage 7 to consolidate their 2nd position overall, but they were keeping Gemmell behind them and taking championship points away from Fecken's title rival.
200. Flat 200. Flat left. Flat left. Flat left through the gate. Mid-gate. 50. Turn left 8. 50. Turn left 8. Into right 5. Right 5 is left 1. Fork right. 100 down to a right 8.
At the front of the pack, Mark Lonier and Robert Paisley were driving the perfect rally. The Castrol Toyota Auris took the lead on stage 1 the day before, and with 4 stage wins out of 7 so far, have kept it for the entire weekend. Their first win for the year was now within sight.
Into left 2 over gate. Into right 2 up. 120. Maximum crest left 1. Maximum left 1. 200. Double caution left 1 over gate. No cut. Right 7. Right 7. No cut. Don't shoot. 260. Turn left 6 at crest. At the top. Turn left 6.
The action on the gravel stages in the Swartland was now a thing of the past, as the teams would soon head back to Cape Town for the final 2 short stages. Cronje remains in the lead, but Keane is breathing down his neck. Fecken moves into 5th, courtesy of Damso's suspension troubles. Back in Cape Town, it is time for the final 2 showdowns on stages 8 and 9. Stage 8 is a repeat from stage 1 the day before, after which the teams will race each other on the tarmac of the Killarney Racing Circuit one last time.
In the battle for production car glory, locals John Pizer and Brian Hoskins inherited 2nd position after the demise of the Midas Subaru of Chad Coetzee and Etienne Lawrence earlier in the day. The speed cycling components Subaru finished 14th overall. Mike Nathan and Derek Jacobs were favourites to win this category in their Birchmoor's Mitsubishi Lancer, and the Cape Townians did not disappoint. Nathan even survived a broken drive shaft and a flat wheel, but reached the Killarney finish in 10th position overall. The Salom Group Polo of Tiens Joubert and Henny Boertes was suffering from a loss of power due to a broken exhaust, but the consistent Joubert recorded another top 10 finish in his maiden S2000 year. 7th position overall was a decent result for Fernando Rueda and Cobus Frey after the Total Evolution Toyota Run-X suffered from a number of broken gearboxes and misfires throughout the year. After winning this event in 2008, Jean-Pierre Damso and navigator Andre Vermeulen were not satisfied with the 6th position. The Total Evolution Toyota's string of bad luck continued, as first a misfire and then a broken suspension component robbed them of any chance to fight for a better result. On the day before, a total of 29 teams took the starters' orders at the Birchmoor Start in Montague Gardens. As the rally was now nearing its end, the remaining 20 teams were all still involved in their own respective battles for class honours. The 2-wheel drive Class A7 rally cars are not much slower than the top S2000 machines, although they lack the traction from the extra drive on the rear wheels and a few kilowatts of power. Outgoing Class A7 champions Chris de Wit and Dean Redlinghuis won the previous round, but had a nightmare event in the Western Cape. The Total Evolution Toyota Run-X lost 26 minutes in stage 6 with a misfire and suffered various other problems, including a broken drive shaft. But the Class A7 rally battle was once again between class championship contenders Evan Hutchison and Alvin Coetzee and Stefan Wilken and Greg Gericke. The Motorrad Toyota Run-X of Hutchison had the overnight lead, but the Panhard Seat Triton Express Polo of Wilken fought back and took the class lead on the first stage of the day, albeit by only 1 second. It was a great fight between the up-and-coming rally stars who both occupied positions in the overall top 10, and over the next few stages, Wilken increased his lead to a full 22 seconds. But going into stage 8, disaster struck as the accelerator cable in the Polo snapped. they fixed the problem and reached the end, but 4 minutes and the class victory was lost. Hutchison's clean run was rewarded with his second Class A7 victory of the year and a 7-point class championship lead going into the final round of the season.
Yeah, there were 2 events and we needed to win both of them. We've managed to win the first one. Unfortunate for Stefan, you know, they had a great race and they really were doing well. They broke down, or had their problem in the second last stage, but that's racing.
The difference between a 1600 Class A6 car and an S2000 is even more pronounced, although there's nothing slow about these highly modified machines. Cape Town locals Andy Haig-Smith and Craig Gray drove consistently to reach the end in their Team React Corolla, in spite of having a bit of last-minute drama on the Killarney racetrack. Their 18th overall was good enough for third in Class A6. Etienne de Tooy and Patrick Vermaak made a welcome return to rallying. De Tooy hasn't competed in a national rally since the end of last year, but the Cape Townians showed excellent pace in the outdated Corolla. It was good enough for second in class and 13th overall. Throughout the day, Mohamed Musa and Grant Martin opened up a comfortable gap over Total Evolution teammates Craig Trott and Robbie Coetzee, but on stage 5, the Auras picked up a puncture, forcing him to stop and allowing Trott into the Class A6 lead after losing 2.5 minutes. Musa fought back and was closing in on Trott when the latter rolled his Ronex out of the event on stage 7. Musa's class win and 12th overall was also enough to give the Toyota Auris model its first rally championship and Class A6 title. Class A5 is the entry-level class of South African rallying. The 1300 and 1400 Toyota Yaris and Volkswagen City Golfs are the slowest, but they also provided the closest battle of the entire rally. Lucy Mabanga and Sean Visser were missing a front bumper, but continued their good run of form with yet another class podium position in the Total Evolution Toyota Yaris. Third place in the Western Cape basically also seals a third place in the class championship for the up-and-coming driver. But as always, Class A5 turned into a royal battle between so-called teammates Guga Zulu and Carl Peskin and Andre Kleinwerk and Des de Fortier. The BP Ultimate City Golf teammates started the day just 8 seconds apart and traded fastest stage times on basically every stage. After 8 of the rally's 9 stages, Kleinwerk had closed the gap to Zulu to just 0.2 of a second. But as Zulu is also a circuit racing driver, Kleinwerk could not keep up with his teammate on the final stage at the Killarney racetrack. Zulu managed to win the stage and the class showdown by a mere 6 seconds, ensuring that this class championship will go down to the wire on the last event of the year.
Hutchison moves further ahead with the Class A7 win over rival Wilkin, while Musa wraps up the Class A6 championship. Zulu narrowly edges out his teammate Kleinwerk in Class A5, while both Class N3 starters failed to reach the finish. Back at the top, the small matter of who will win the BP Ultimate Rally still had to be decided. Marc Cronier has driven the perfect rally so far, but with only 2 short stages to go, life was getting tough at the top.
Going into this 5K now, I know the stage, so we should be okay, and then we're up to the tar, so I think we both know the tar quite well. It's going to go down to the wire.
Enzo Keane won both previous stages to move closer to Grenier. The gap between himself and his first win of the year was now just 8 seconds.
It's close now, yes, not much left, and unfortunately only 5 Ks of gravel left. We tried very hard there.
Gemmell is in a safe third, but is there anything he could do about second position?
I don't think there's not enough kilometers left, but the guys are going well today. Very quick.
Fagan managed to battle his way back into 5th, but his next target was teammate Jan Abbe.
We're going to try and get past Yanni. I'm not sure if we'll be able to, but give it a good go.
Teammates or not, Habig wasn't going to give up his 4th position for anyone.
All guys, hard as they can.
Hargen Fecken and Pierre Harries were on the back foot from the very first stage of the day when they flipped the BP Ultimate Polo on its side. From that moment on, it was damage limitation for Fecken, who tried hard to close the gap to teammate Habig over the final 2 stages, but 5th overall was as high as he could get. Jan Habig and Douglas Judd challenged for the overall rally lead early on in the day, before being delayed by electrical problems. Although Fecken won both the last 2 stages, Habig had done enough to secure 4th position overall and to maintain his 3rd in the overall championship. Johnny Gemmell and Peter Marsh were hoping for a better finish, especially seeing that their title rival Fecken could only manage 5th. Every single position counts, and come the end of the season, 1 championship point could decide the overall outcome. Although he tried hard, Gemmell had no choice but to settle for the points that come with 3rd position. And that's because Enzo Keen came to the party at exactly the right time for Volkswagen. With these 2 short stages to go, the Cape Townian even had a sniff of the overall victory. But he could not quite close the 8-second gap needed. Second was still a very good result. And what a way to recover from early season hiccups for Mark Cronje and Robert Paisley. The Castrol Toyota driver was level-headed throughout the entire event and won 5 of the rally's 9 stages, although the 10.4-second winning margin suggests that it was a lot closer than it looked. It's also Cronje's second ever rally victory.
A 10-second win for Mark Cronje over Enzo Keen. But more importantly, as far as the championship is concerned, more points for Gemmel in 3rd than for Fecken in 5th. The sweet taste of champagne from the top step of the podium for Mark Cronje and Robert Paisley. Only the 3rd pairing this entire year to experience this feeling.
Yeah, an absolute thrill for me. You know, the guys have been really quick all year, and this rally was meant for us. And the car was exceptional. We had absolutely no troubles, and it told its story all the way through to the end.
Enzo Keen and Guy Hodgson haven't won a rally since the Sasol rally early last year, but he's getting mighty close with a number of podium finishes so far this year.
It's nice to be back and chasing for the win. You know, we had a chance of taking it, and we were in contention. We really tried hard today, and it's interesting. You know, as you get closer, you actually try harder, so you get hungry for the win, and it's nice to have that feeling back, and I'll be missing that.
Johnny Gemmel and Peter Marsh overturned their 3-point championship deficit into a 1-point lead. However, as teams must discard their worst score of the year, Gemmel and Fecken are now tied on net points with just 1 rally to go.
Yeah, that was most important this weekend, you know, to get a few more points than him. This weekend we started 3 points behind him, and now after this result we're tied. So it's whoever wins up in Joburg is going to take the championship.
A first production car victory for Mike Nathan and Derek Jacobs.
It's not the way I wanted to have a production car win, but to Alan Porter and Mike Venter, from chairman of the CPMCC, the organising club, we'd like to give you, your family, our condolences, the Wilkin family and Sasol. Guys, we're all thinking about you through these tough times, and what we'd like to say that we will all have a quiet prayer for you guys.
The end of a